Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraya Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike. Let's recite together. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutali Prabhupada Priya Shri Girirajaya Swami Subhaktananda Ras Vihariyam Bhakti Vyasatmadayini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutali Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pachatya Deshatari. Mukham karoti vācānam pangham langayate girim kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So welcome back after 2 months, I think, right? 2 months. It's too long time. So we are revising again, chapter Canto 5, chapter 8, a description of the character of Bharat Maharaj. So text 1, Shishuka Dev Goswami continued, My dear king, one day after finishing his morning duties, evacuating, urinating and bathing, Maharaj Bharat sat down on the bank of the river Gandaki. for a few minutes and began chanting his mantra, beginning with Omkara. Krita, Mahanadyam Krita Abhisheka Nayamika Avasyakaha. Having taken a bath after finishing the daily external duties such as passing stool and urine and brushing the teeth. So much details in Bhagavatam. So much details of what do you do, and we are talking about the great King Bharat, right?
Maybe Prabhupada is written because in future people not brush and not
No, what I mean is that whoever you may be, right? You may be, the great King Bharat. All right.
Everybody has to do
same thing. Everybody has to do the same thing. The animal also has to do. Only difference, they don't take baths, right? I mean, even as human beings, we have to relearn everything, take baths, right? That's why we have this Bhakti Sadachar course, speaking about this taking baths, right? Washing your feet, washing your mouth, washing your hands. These days, people, they eat, they don't wash their hands. I see it among devotees also. They don't wash their hands, right? So, after finishing his morning duties, also meaning that when you have a material body, this is how disgraceful it is, right? When you have a a material body, I still remember that image in front of me when this Maharaj is sitting on the Vyasasana. Very nicely he's saying, what you put inside has to come out from the other end. This is how the body is made, right? Any machine is like this. You put in something and bagas come out from the other end. So the body is a machine. So in the great transcendental book of Srimad Bhagavatam, is being described what the king is doing. Maharaj Bharat sat down on the bank of the river Gandaki for a few minutes and began chanting his mantra, beginning with Omkar, like we do, all of us. We get up early in the morning, we take bath, etc., etc., and then we sit down and we chant the Gayatri.
Is Gandaki the same river where that?
Yes, the Gandaki river. O king, while Bharat Maharaj was sitting on the bank of that river, a doe, being very thirsty, came there to drink. While the doe was drinking with great satisfaction, a lion, which was very close, roared very loudly. This was frightful to every living entity, and it was heard by the doe. By nature, the doe was always afraid of being killed by others. It was always looking about suspiciously. When it heard the lion's tumultuous roar, it became very agitated. Looking here and there with disturbed eyes, the doe, always had not fully satisfied itself by drinking water, suddenly leaped across the river. The doe was pregnant, and when it jumped out of fear, the baby deer fell from its womb into the flowing waters of the river. Being separated from its flock and distressed by its miscarriage, the black doe, having crossed the river, was very much distressed. Indeed, it fell down in a cave and died immediately. The great King Bharat, while sitting on the bank of the river, saw the small deer bereft of its mother, floating down the river. Seeing this, he felt great compassion. Like a sincere friend, he lifted the infant deer from the waves, and knowing it to be motherless, brought it to his ashram. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, see, we are learning how to elevate ourselves on the path of devotional service, right? And now this section is showing us how from the path of devotional reach up here we come down systematically. It didn't just drop down. Systematically, how you come, you're walking down a step, right? You go up, you take so much trouble, right? To go up, so much pain, and here it's also, the fall is also a step at a time, you could say. And this is what we are going to study here. So here Prabhupada is saying the laws of nature work in subtle ways unknown to us. Maharaj Bharat was a great king, very advanced in devotional service. He had almost reached the point of loving service to the Supreme Lord. But even from that platform, he could fall down onto the material platform. So, Prabhupada is saying, a little discrepancy will cause one to fall down again into material existence. By studying the activities of Maharaj Bharat, we can learn the art of becoming completely freed from all material attachment. So the cause of his fall down was his material attachment. Gradually, Maharaj Bharat became very affectionate towards the deer. So this is like very extraordinary because Maharaj Bharat had a family, right? He had sons, and naturally he was affectionate to them, but he left them, virakti. Maharaj, in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami gives Maharaj Bharat as an example of virakti in bhava. Bhava has 9 different symptoms. I mean, verifiable, concrete, that you're on the stage of bhava. Not sentiments and emotions, because the artists on stage also, they imitate. So, Galad Ashrudharaya, right? Voice is choking, rolling on the ground, goose pimples, all this. This can be imitated by good actors. But virakti cannot be imitated, meaning actual detachment. So his virakti was visible in that he could, though he was a king, he was able to give up his kingdom, right? He was emperor. He was not just a king, he was an emperor. So he could give up his throne very easily and go to the forest, leaving behind his wealth, opulence, his family members. Here specifically it is the most difficult of all. It is giving up your children and the family members. He went to the forest. And he became attached to a small animal. Right? How is that possible? So Prabhupada is saying that by studying the activities of Maharaj Bharat, we can learn the art of becoming completely freed from all material attachment. So gradually, meaning that it was happening without him realizing it. His heart got caught by this little deer, without even him realizing it. Gradually, here it says. Krita Nija Abhimanasya, who accepted the calf as his own son. Krita Nija, own, Abhiman, mine. So, aha, every day, oh my God, that's what we say gradually. Aha, that's what I was looking for, every day. Tat Poshana, maintaining that calf. Palana, protecting from dangers. Lalana, raising it or showing love to it by kissing and so on. Prinana, petting it in love. Anudhyanena, by such attachment. Atma Niyamaha, his personal activities for taking care of his body. Sahayama. Okay, let's read. He began to raise it and maintain it by giving it grass. He was always careful to protect it from the attacks of tigers and other animals. When it itched, he petted it, and in this way he always tried to keep it in a comfortable condition. He sometimes kissed it out of love. Being attached to raising the deer, Maharaj Bharat forgot the rules and regulations for the attachment of spiritual life. So we struggle so hard, right, to follow the regulatory principles if we were not vegetarian. So then how to become vegetarian, right? Then how to have no onion and garlic, and then who's going to cook your food, right? Another challenge here in Bombay, who will cook your food? Then next step is how to offer that food. And don't forget to offer. Make sure you're offering the food. Not lazy about it. Not that out of enthusiasm, today I'm offering. Like, so much hard work to go uphill. And now he's going backwards. He's so being attached to raising the deer. Maharaj Bharat forgot the rules and regulations for the advancement of spiritual life, and he gradually forgot to worship the Supreme Person Godhead. After a few days, he forgot everything about his spiritual advancement. You know, like when we joined, like we were taught, when you're taking prasadam, you don't answer your phone. The phone is ringing, you don't pick it up, right? You don't read any newspaper, you don't nothing, right? Believe me, since the YouTube started, for me, I got caught. I'm taking prasadam and I want to watch my YouTube, right? So, using the left hand, which I never could use before, right? See how after so many years and years and years of practice, I find myself being caught. Social media, right? You want to listen to some. Before I would just put on a cassette, right? Something. Yeah, actually I remember. We had those MP3 players. That was the latest, right? Before it became digital. Meaning that you already set it on before you sit down, right? Now what do? We listen a little bit this one, then we next, and then it finishes, and you go to the next one, right? See how you get caught. Then I was feeling okay. Before I said, sit down, let me finish looking what I want to listen to. What to do? You don't have the MP3 players anymore, right? I used to laugh at those devotees who tell, because I have got so many CDs. Now you don't have the CD player in your phone, in your laptop. Is it true? You don't have it, right? And I've got so many. They told me, no, listen straight to internet. I said, what? Now they made everything so cheap, right? You listen, Wi-Fi and all that. Everything you listen on, and I'm doing the same thing. You know? So going back to, so much self-control is required, so much intelligence is required that we don't get drugged. And the horrific advertisement that comes in between, anything that any child shouldn't see pops up on your YouTube. You know? What to do? Still we want to Katha, right? Supposed to be Shravanam Katha, and see what we are watching with our eyes. And before it was only hearing.
And those are not getting banned.
Okay, so here it is, Maharaj being attached to erasing the deer. So that's why, we may think this is something that happened, it's so many, God knows which yuga it was. I'm putting myself in it. It has its own variety of Maya. It takes a new shape, right? Maya keeps on changing, that's what they say. Right? Dazzling in different ways, so. Yeah, got caught. That's why it's a witch, they say. Maya is a witch. Dazzle in such a way you caught. You didn't know you got caught. So therefore you have to read Bhagavatam and say, oh, I got caught. Being attached to raising the deer, Maharaj Bharat forgot the rules and regulations for the advance in spiritual life. Because as I said, we were trained, you sit down to take prasadam, no phone. The phone is ringing somewhere, no phone, you're taking prasad. And if anybody picks up the phone, they will reply, this devotee is taking prasadam. I said, what's the big deal first time? What's the big deal? No, it's a big deal in ISKCON. You do not get up when you are taking prasadam. Right? So, gradually he forgot to worship the Supreme Person Godhead. After a few days, he forgot everything about his spiritual advancement. Why? Why did he forget about his spiritual advancement? Because he got caught in doing good for others. Alright? The great King Maharaj Bharat began to think, alas, this helpless young deer, by the force of time, an agent of the Supreme Person Godhead. How we philosophize each and every action that we do, right? It sounds it's Bhagavatam, right? This being personality of Godhead, force of time, person Godhead, right? God who is doing everything. Ishvara Rata Charana has now lost its relatives and friends and has taken shelter of me. It doesn't know anyone but me, as I have become its father, mother, brother and relatives. This deer is thinking in this way and it has full faith in me. It doesn't know anyone but me. Therefore, I should not be envious and think that for the deer my own welfare will be destroyed. I should certainly raise, protect, gratify and fondle it. When it has taken shelter with me, how can I neglect it? Even though the deer is disturbing my spiritual life, I realize that a helpless person who has taken shelter cannot be neglected. That will be a great fault. So now, it's not a question that he's not having time to do his sadhana, etc. It's not a question of time because he has nothing else to do. But his mind was no longer on his sadhana. As it's going to be described. So, he's thinking that, God, the time, which is an agent of God, has made this deer become his property. Right? Nija, what it says there? Nija, it says, Krita Nija Abhimanasya. My own son, Abhiman, my own son. It has full faith in me, so I should not let it down, should take care of it. Even though the deer is disturbing my spiritual life, I realize that a helpless person who has taken shelter cannot be neglected. Like sometimes when you're ignorant, it's better than to be very knowledgeable, because this knowledge now has become an obstacle. If somebody is ignorant, you can remove the ignorance. But if somebody already knows, how are you going to remove the ignorance? He knows everything. He's quoting all Shastra. So these are, anyways, listen to all these lectures that I'm sending. I'm just giving you one lecture. Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj, his lecture I have posted. Series of lectures. Everything. This is from Madhurya Kadambini. Obstacles on devotional service. So he's fighting in his mind now. He's fighting against his own action. He's justifying his own action. He's saying this is correct. It's correct. According to Shastra. See how he will now say. Even though one is in the renounced order, one who is advanced certainly feels compassion for suffering living entities. One should certainly neglect his own personal interest, although they may be very important to protect one who has surrendered. Due to attachment for the deer, Maharaj Bharat lay down with it, walked about with it, bathed with it, and even ate with it. Thus his heart became bound to the deer in affection. So he's fondling it, he's sleeping with it, walking around, he's taking bath, and he's also, bathing with the deer, and he's eating also. Even as he's eating with the deer. Thus his heart became bound to the deer in affection. So we remember that where the whole elevation or fall down is seated, it's in the heart. What catches your heart, this is where you will be. Wherever we are right now, whatever situation we are right now, this is where our heart is. So we can examine our situation and see, then we'll know where our heart is. When Maharaj Bharat wanted to enter the forest to collect kusha grass, flowers, wood, leaves, fruits, roots and water, he would fear that dogs, jackals, tigers and other ferocious animals might kill the deer. He would therefore always take the deer with him when entering the forest. So I can't leave the child behind all alone, right? So I should take the child along with me because I'm the protector. My God, I shouldn't laugh. It's like horrible. When entering the forest, the animal would appear very attractive to Maharaj Bharat due to its childish behavior. I remember, I asked one devotee, because we were all brahmacharini in the ashram, then gradually our devotees started getting married. So one of my friends told me, I said, what's the big deal about children? She told me they are so cute. They are so here it says, the animal would appear very attractive to Maharaj Bharat. Why? Due to its childish behavior. Very cute. We didn't know, so here we are. Maharaj Bharat would even take the deer on his shoulders and carry it due to affection. Parents, they carry the child on their shoulders. His heart was so filled with great love for the deer that he would sometimes keep it on his lap, or when sleeping on his chest. In this way he felt great pleasure in fondling the animal. When Maharaj Bharat was actually worshipping the Lord or was engaged in some ritualistic ceremony, although his activities were unfinished, he would still at intervals get up and see where the deer was. Like the phone is ringing, you're doing a deity worship, right? The phone is ringing. You say, let me check who's calling. Should I pick up? Right? Inattentive seva. In doing your japa, right? See, doing japa, hearing. I'm saying all the time in the temple here. Here we are. You're attending the class and somebody wants to talk to you, but inattentive hearing, inattentive japa, and here inattentive worship. Remember, among the 10 offenses, among the offenses against the holy name, and inattention. So he would get up which means not allowed at all. When you are doing deity worship, you are not allowed to get up. You have to stay put for those 2 hours. That's why we do it early morning, right? You have to stay and just do the deity worship. But what has happened? He's kept a child there, right? So we become anxious. I remember, I'm saying this, I actually remember seeing that one devotee, his child was born, his wife gave birth, he had a child, and he's sitting, for the Sunday program, he's not able to concentrate. It's it, he's so enchanted by this newborn baby, like here. So we go through this, alright? We go through this. We may be initiated, we may be Brahman initiated, we may be a good preacher, we may be a good devotee, but when there is an object of attraction, you get diverted. So this is explained in Madhurya Kadambini. Ruchi. So we have attraction for the holy name, for seeing the deity, but if some other things come in, we are diverted. It goes to meaning that our bhakti is not properly fixed. But here, Maharaj Bharat was not in Nishtha. Where was he? Bhava. Higher up. In this way, he will look for it. And when he could see that the deer was comfortably seated, his mind and heart would be very satisfied, and he would bestow his blessing upon the deer, saying, "My dear calf, may you be happy in all respect." But what did he say? Asaste swasti stad vasa te sarvata iti. His blessing, swasti. He's blessing the deer, swasti. If Bharat Maharaj sometimes could not see the deer, his mind will be very agitated. Where did he go? He would become like a miser who, having obtained some riches, had lost them and had then become very unhappy. When the deer was gone, he would be filled with anxiety and would lament due to separation. Thus he would become illusion and speak as follows. Bharat Maharaj would think, "Alas, the deer is now helpless. I am now very unfortunate, and my mind is like a cunning hunter, for it is always filled with cheating propensities and cruelty. The deer has put its faith in me, just as a good man who has a natural friend and puts his faith in him. Although I have proved faithless, will this deer return and place its faith in me?" Alas, is it possible? So it says here, according to the logic of Atmavan Manyate Jagat, everyone thinks of others according to his own position. Therefore, Maharaj Bharat felt that the deer had left him due to his negligence, and that due to the animal's noble heart, it would again return. So Prabhupada explained in all this. Alas, is it possible that I shall again see this animal protected by the Lord and fearless of tigers and other animals? Shall I again see him wandering in the garden eating soft grass? So Prabhupada explained that there's no problem about rescuing the deer. Alright. What was the problem then? Attachment, and therefore
diversion from its sadhana.
Yes, diversion, and then finally
I mean, the entire he thought himself as a protector.
Then negligence, right? He started to become very negligent of his sadhana. And Prabhupada explained, he said that we give protection according to what that entity deserves. Alright? An animal cannot be raised to Krishna consciousness. It's an animal. So why give so much time? Right? Parents give time to the children. They must. Right? Because a child can be trained to become a good person, to become a bhakta. Bhakta is very high. By now we know it's very, very high, but at least set on the path. Right? And even then, according to the rule of Varnashram Dharma, there is a time period. Right? The child is with you from this age to this age, and then as they are moving up, you have to let them go. Right? And you have to move on with your life. Right? Because time is not going to wait for you. Right? And here what is happening is the contrary. So therefore, from the materialistic point of view, such kind thoughts may be very laudable, but from the spiritual point of view, the king was actually falling from his exalted spiritual position and unnecessarily becoming attached to an animal. Thus degrading himself, he would have to accept an animal body. Text 18. I do not know, but the deer might have been eaten by a wolf or a dog, or by the boars that flock together, or the tiger who travels alone. Tigers never wander in the forest in flocks. Each tiger wanders alone, but forest boars keep together. Similarly, hogs, wolves, and dogs also do the same. Thus Maharaj Bharat thought that the deer had been killed by some of the many ferocious animals within the forest. Alas, when the sun rises. Nimlochati ha Bhagavan Sakala Jagat Kshema Udaya Traya Atma Adhyapi Mama Na Mrigavadhu Nyasaha Agachati. Alas, when the sun rises, all auspicious things begin. Unfortunately, they haven't begun for me. The sun god is the Vedas personified, but I am bereft of all Vedic principles. That sun god is now setting, yet the poor animal who trusted in me since its mother died has not returned. So now just see what's happening. So, meaning that deer was growing up, right? And he's saying, from his birth, from the time the mother died, this baby calf is with me. Understand? The sun god is now setting, yet the poor animal who trusted in me alone, who trusted in me since its mother died, has not returned. So Prabhupada is saying that when the sun is arising, we should chant the Vedic mantra Gayatri. But he's not able to chant. What happens? So many devotees say it. Whenever my mind is disturbed, I can't chant. I don't chant. I give up chanting. Bharat Maharaj is doing it. Right? Is it correct? When you are disturbed, what should you do? You should chant. But what do people do? They say, I can't chant. So actually, what he should have done would have been to chant. Leave it. Just leave it. Something bad happens, leave it. Leave it, because everybody has destiny. Right? Every single person has destiny. That deer is exactly like a prince, Rajkumar, the king. I said it before, like parents, they say, Mera Rajkumar, right? So here, King Bharabhika say he's a king. So his son is a Rajkumar. For him it applies properly. The animal also is Rajkumar. Hirana Rajakumara. Hirana Rajkumar. That deer is exactly like a prince. When will it return? When will it again display its personal activities which are so pleasing? When will it again pacify a wounded heart like mine? I certainly must have no pious assets. Otherwise the deer would have returned by now. So you need pious assets in order to have a deer in your house. And the deer will stay with you. Like we say, no, you have good deeds, that's why you have such a good wife, good husband, good parents, good children. So you need pious asset to have a deer. See how he think it. Meaning it's completely mad. Out of affection, Prabhupada says, anyone can be addressed as anything. Mera Rajkumar. We are laughing, but this is very, very much his mood. When you're out of the whole Maya, right? You can watch the show and laugh. But who is in the Maya? No. When we are in Maya, we do all types of things. Alas, the small deer, while playing with me and seeing me feigning meditation with closed eyes, would circumambulate me due to anger arising from love. And it would fearfully touch me with the points of its soft horns, which fell like drops of water. So now Bharat Maharaj is thinking that the deer knows that I was only pretending I'm chanting, right? But actually my attention was on its pranks. And I like the touch of that deer. So Prabhupada said earlier that this section is to teach us. Learn from the activities of Bharat Maharaj how we are devotees, with how we become distracted. When I place all the sacrificial ingredients on the kusha grass, the deer, when playing, would touch the grass with its teeth and thus pollute it. Right? Not allowed. When I chastise the deer by pushing it away, it would immediately become fearful and sit down motionless, exactly like the son of a saintly person. Thus it would stop its play. Purport: Bharat Maharaj was constantly thinking of the activities of the deer, forgetting that such meditation and diversion of attention was killing his progress in spiritual achievement. It's like somebody is newly engaged to be married, right? So all that person will think of what he does, how he looks like, what he says. Like children born in a house, right? Parents all the time, whoever comes will say what the child does, how he speaks, right? So this is what's happening here. So
It goes to show, that is like how much of intellectual advancement we do. There is always a possibility of a slip.
yes, and that's why we are being warned about this. Bhagavatam is showing us. And we discussed last time, we discussed last time how to avoid this. So the Acharyas said, Sadhu Sangha, they are the protectors of any sadhaka because they are highway robbers, right? The senses, profit, distinction and adoration, Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, Mad, right? They are called highway robbers. They're ready to attack you at any time. Therefore, a sadhaka must always run for protection with a spiritual master and sadhus. So, see, the main problem is this. When somebody is falling down like this, he doesn't want to take association of others. He doesn't want anybody. He doesn't want anybody to tell him anything because he's so happy in his Maya. He doesn't want anyone to advise him or her. You see, this is like the free will. It's the free will of the soul. But here we'll find that he was heavily punished. He was heavily punished. For a short duration, the short lifespan of a deer, he didn't take birth as a tortoise, right? Tortoise has huge lifespan. He must be very sinful. His jeev must be very sinful. I don't know what's the lifespan of a rhino, right? So he took birth as a deer because he was very highly advanced for a very short time. So he took birth as a deer and he took birth in the Sangha of devotees. In the same, because he was in an ashram, right? He was in an ashram, so he took birth there itself. See, it's very precise. The laws of karma, Prabhupada explained beginning, that the laws of nature work in subtle ways unknown to us. But it's being made known to us, right? After speaking like a madman in this way, Maharaj Bharat got up and went outside. Seeing the footprints of the deer on the ground, he praised the footprints out of love, saying, "O unfortunate Bharat, your austerities and penances are very insignificant compared to the penance and austerities undergone by this earth planet. Due to the earth's severe penances, the footprints of this deer, which are small, beautiful, most auspicious and soft, are imprinted on the surface of this fortunate planet." So meaning the planet has become fortunate because of the soft imprint of the beautiful deer. This series of footprints show a person like me, who am bereaved due to loss of the deer, how the animal has passed through the forest and how I can regain my lost wealth. By these footprints, this land has become a proper place for Brahmanas who desire heavenly planets or liberation to execute sacrifices to the demigods. Now, what is he referring to? That's why, everything that is given in the Vedas get distorted through the wrong lens. You won't believe what he's talking about unless you read the purport. Okay, read the purport. Read about it.
It is said that when a person becomes overly involved in other affairs, he forgets himself as well others, and he forgets himself as well others, and he forgets how to act and how to speak. It is said that once, when a man's son was blind since birth, the father, out of staunch affection for the child, named him Padma Lochana, or lotus-eyed. This is a situation arising from blind love. Bharat Maharaj gradually fell into this condition due to this material love for the deer. It is said in Smriti Shastra, Yashmin Deshe Mrigha Krishnas, Tashmin Dharman Ivodhata. That tract of land wherein the footprints of black deer can be seen is to be understood as a suitable place to execute religious rituals.
Right. So if you want to do a yagya, right? So you have to choose a tract of land. So in the Smriti Shastra, it says that place where the footprint of a deer is visible, that place is the most auspicious place to do the yagya. You understand what's happening here? So it's terrible, right? How you use Shastra. You use all the quotations of Shastra and you turn it in such a way to justify whatever's going on in your mind.
How well explained.
All right, I'll read it again. Read it again what he said. See what he said. Seeing the footprints of the deer on the ground, he praised the footprints out of love, saying, "Oh, unfortunate Bharat, I am unfortunate, okay? Bharat, I am unfortunate. Your austerities and penances are very insignificant compared to the penance and austerity undergone by this earth planet." All right? So the earth planet has done so much austerities and penances. Why? Due to the earth's severe penances, the footprints of this deer, which are small, beautiful, and most auspicious and soft, are imprinted on the surface of this fortunate planet. Meaning that the planet has become fortunate due to its austerities and penances, and therefore a deer has walked on its surface and created footprints. So he's saying that I am unfortunate, my austerities and penances didn't bring me the deer, but your austerities and penances have brought you the deer. We say, depending on who you associate with. So if you are an outright asura, you will speak the language of the asuras, right? If you are associate with the drunkards, you will speak the language of the drunkards. And if you associate the sadhus, you're going to speak the language of the sadhus, right? And you're deviating and falling down. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. Such a lesson to learn from this. Maharaj Bharat continued to speak like a madman. Seeing above his head the dark marks on the rising moon, which resemble a deer, he said, "Can it be that the moon, who is so kind to an unhappy man, might also be kind upon my deer, knowing that it has strayed from home and has become motherless? This moon has given the deer shelter near itself just to protect it from the fearful attacks of a lion." His inability to let go of the deer to its destiny. So the deer left him. His destiny is guiding him, right? The Paramatma is in his heart. The destiny is guiding him. And Bharat Maharaj, even though it may be very compassionate, may be sad, but to forget Krishna, right? To forget Krishna and to see the entire world colored only with the deer is exaggerated. After perceiving the moonshine, Maharaj Bharat continued speaking like a crazy person. He said, "The deer's son was so submissive and dear to me that due to its separation, I'm feeling separation from my own son." Now he's saying the deer's son, right? Before my child. Now he's saying the deer's son. Due to the burning fever of this separation, I'm suffering as if inflamed by a forest fire. My heart, which is like the lily of the land, is now burning, seeing me so distressed. The moon is certainly splashing its shining nectar upon me, just as a friend throws water on another friend who has a high fever. In this way, the moon is bringing me happiness. Purport. According to Ayurvedic treatment, it is said that if one has a high fever, someone should splash him with water after gargling this water. In this way, the fever subsides. Although Maharaj Bharat was very aggrieved due to the separation of his so-called son, the deer, he thought that the moon was splashing gargled water on him from its mouth, and that this water would subdue his high fever, which was raging due to separation from the deer. So remember, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he felt separation from Krishna. How the gopis felt separation from Krishna. So there was an object. There's a real object of separation. But here it is a misplaced, right? It's a misplaced love and affection. Because that deer has nothing to do with Krishna. He doesn't care about Krishna. But the deer that Bharat Maharaj will become, he cared about Krishna. Right? Just see the difference between the two deers. One left the ashram. Right? Yes. He left the ashram. Whereas Bharat Maharaj, the deer, will leave behind its mother willingly, and he will go and sit among sadhus. Right? So not an ordinary deer, an animal and another animal. So sometimes devotees, they have pets. How did they get pets? How did it happen? Only Krishna knows. So many stories are like this. Little Nimai had a puppy. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he likes. I know whenever he's going to tell Chaitanya Leela, 100% going to tell the story about the puppy, Nimai and the puppy. I don't know how a puppy came to Nimai. His mother said, "What? Puppy in the house? No." So the puppy was tied outside, and when Nimai went to take bath, the mother untied the puppy to let the puppy go away. Right? So when Nimai came back, he was just crying and crying. "Where's my puppy?" So Chan Maro, the whole of Nadia, where the puppy is. All right. Somehow or other, they found a puppy. So, the fortunate puppies of the Lord. At the time of death, the king saw that the deer was sitting by his side, exactly like his own son, and was lamenting his death. How horrible. How horrible. At the time of your death, you see an animal next to you. Right? How horrible. Actually, the mind of the king was absorbed in the body of the deer, and consequently, like those bereft of Krishna consciousness, he left the world, the deer, and his material body, and acquired the body of a deer. However, there was one advantage. Although he lost his human body and received the body of a deer, he didn't forget the incidents of his past life. You know? I missed one? Oh my God. Oh, that is too big. All right, so next we are going to, it's too big. It's 5:30. All right. This is a long purport. So we'll start from here. Text 26. I mean, we were so absorbed in it, right? We forgot.
Yeah,
We want to know.
26. She told me it's something.
Yeah, because if I'm going to read the purport and everything, it's a long purport. Sure. Do you want to read it? You want to read it?
You can read. We have time. Yeah,
Okay, let's read. See, everybody's curious to know, right? For once. For once.
My puppy.
Evam aghatamana. In that way, aghatamana, impossible to be achieved. Manaratha, by desires which are like mental chariots. Akula, agrib hridaya, whose heart mriga daraka abhashena, resembling the son of a deer. I mean, it's so horrific what we are reading. If at the time of death, you know, the mind, he's seeing an animal next to him. Right? That's what happened. If you see what's happening actually, it's like your mind, so at the time of your death, an animal is sitting next to you. And your mind gets absorbed in that animal. You're going to take the shape of that animal. Right? So that's why we do bhajan kirtan, right? We do bhajan, yeah. All family members, they're sitting together, they're doing bhajan. Remember Krishna, remember Rama, remember Narayan, whoever, right? Remember. You don't want an animal to sit next to you. So the chariot of the mind, Manaratha, chariot of the mind, Akula Agrivridaya. So inside the heart, it's not just the mind, it has penetrated into the heart. Alright? Affection has come inside the heart and it's getting projected into the mind. So watch our heart. Everybody must watch our heart. What is there in my heart? Because that's what's going to get projected in the mind. Then what else? Swa arabdha karmana. By the bad results of his unseen fruitive action. Yoga arambhanataha. By the activities of yoga performances. Vibramshitaha, fallen down, saha hi Maharaj Bharat. Yoga tapasaha, executing the activities of mystic yoga and austerities. Bhagavat aradhana lakshanat, from the activities of devotional service rendered to the Supreme Person Godhead. Cha. And katham, how? Itaratha, else, jati antare, belonging to a different species of life, ena kunake, to the body of a deer calf, asangaha, so much affectionate attachment, saksha, directly, Nishreyasa, to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Pratipakshataya, with the quality of being an obstacle. Prak, who previously, pratityakta, given up. Dushtyacha, although very difficult to give up. Hridaya abhijatasya, his sons, born of his own heart. We spoke about that earlier, that the children who you give birth to actually is depending on the state of your heart. Right? This is the type of children. The children are not born exactly from semen. The child is actually born from the state of your heart. Tasya abhim evam, thus antaraya, by that obstacle, vihata, obstructed, yoga arambhanasya, whose path of executing the mystic yoga practices, Raja Rishisheh, of the greatly saintly king, Bharatasya, of Bharat Maharaj, Tavat, in that way, Mriga Arbhaka, the son of a deer, Poshana, in maintaining, Palana, in protecting, Prenana, in making happy, Lalana, in fondling, Anusangena, by constant absorption, Aviganayataha, neglecting Atmanam, his own soul. He neglected his own soul, Ahi Eva, like a serpent, Akhubilam, the whole of a mouse, Duratikramaha, unsurpassable, Kalaha, ultimate death, Karala, terrible, Karala, terrible, Rabhasaha, having speed, Apadyata, arrived. Shukdev Goswami continued, my dear king, in this way Bharat Maharaj was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable desire, which was manifest in the form of a deer. Alright? An uncontrollable desire, which was manifested in the form of a deer, due to the fruitive results of his past deeds. Swa arabdha karmana, prarabdh, we say prarabdh karma, aprarabdha karma. Due to the fruitive result of his past deeds, he fell down from mystic yoga, austerity and worship of the Supreme Person Godhead. If it were not due to his past fruitive activity, how could he have been attracted to the deer after giving up the association of his own son and family, considering them stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual life? How could he show such uncontrollable affection for a deer? This was definitely due to his past karma. The king was so engrossed in petting and maintaining the deer that he fell down from his spiritual activities. In due course of time, insurmountable death. Karala, Rabhasaha, which is compared to a venomous snake that enters the hole created by a mouse, situated itself before him. You know, so there is a hole and the mouse is sitting there, and the snake finds that hole, enters into it and catches the mouse. So death is like this. So all of us who are finding, things are shrinking in us, right? Wrinkles are coming. We should know Kala is catching up with us. We should be ready. Should be ready. All right. Please continue.
As will be seen in later verses, Bharat Maharaj at the time of death would be forced to accept the body of a deer due to his attraction for the deer. In this regard, a question may be raised. How can a devotee be affected by his past misconduct and vicious activities. In Brahma Samhita 5.54, it is said, Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. For those engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajana, the results of the past deeds are indemnified. According to this, Bharat Maharaj could not be punished for his past misdeeds. The conclusion must be that Maharaj Bharat purposely became over-addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. To immediately rectify his mistake, for a short time, he was awarded the body of a deer. This was to increase his desire for mature devotional service. Although Bharat Maharaj was awarded the body of an animal, he did not forget what had previously happened due to his purposeful mistake. He was very anxious to get out of his dear body, and this indicates that his affection for devotional service was intensified, so much so that he was quickly to attain the perfection in a Brahmana body in the next life. It is with this conviction that we declare in our Back to Godhead magazine that devotees like the Goswamis living in Vrindavan who purposely commit some sinful activity are born in the bodies of dogs, monkeys, tortoises in that holy land. Thus, they take on these lower life forms for a short while, and after they give up those animal bodies, and they are again promoted to the spiritual world. Such punishment is only for a short period, and it is not due to past karma. It may appear to be due to past karma, but it is ordered to rectify the devotee and bring him back to the pure devotional service. I did not understand the last. I thought it was due to past karma, but then again it says it is not due to past karma.
So Shukdev Goswami is saying that due to the fruitive result of his past deeds. So this is what Shukdev Goswami is saying. This was definitely due to his past karma. But here in the purport, Prabhupada is taking on the commentaries of the Acharyas. And he's saying that at the stage of bhava, most of our past karma is already erased, nullified. Alright? So how is it that he fell down? Remnants of past life desires still there. And due to this remnants, he again got involved with the deer. And what that is called kutam. There are different stages in eradication of sinful activities, result of sinful activities. There's bijam, kutam, prarabdha, prarabdha karma. These are 4 stages. So he has practiced so much, he came to a certain stage, but it's not full eradication of sinful desires. And therefore, what was his desire actually? What was the whole thing about here for him?
Attachment to the deer.
How did he become attached?
He felt responsible. He felt responsible for the deer. Like, deer has come to me, I need to protect it. It is motherless.
Yeah, Ishvara. Right? He was a king. He's used to giving protection to the whole world, right? So that Kutam, this inside disposition that I am a protector of the Praja, remained in him, the Ishvara. He forgot that finally there is a supreme controller. I remember my Guru Maharaj one time, he was explaining how he was sitting on the beach, he chants, he usually go on the beach, he goes for a walk and then he sits down, he chants. So he was explaining how when he was sitting there, he was observing something like this, how, this, I don't know whether he saw some big fish trying to catch another fish, and then he saw this. So he was explaining how gradually he started thinking of so many devotees who are in pain, who needs, help, because he's a guru, right? Counseling, help. And he thought that at some point he was feeling overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed by feeling the pain of others. And then suddenly it subsided because he thought that Krishna, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, Gyatva Shantim Richati. The sadhus, how they become peaceful? By knowing that Krishna is the supreme controller. He is the enjoyer, the controller of the entire world. He is the well-wisher of all. Right? Every guru has to think like this. Right? That's how they can live this world peacefully. If they would think that, so many hundreds and thousands of disciples and I have to take care of each and every one, that's not his work. His service is to make you get connected to Krishna and you follow the path of Krishna. Right? So here, because of this Kutam of being an Ishvara, he was a king, an Ishvara, that remnant remained in him. So one, it's like you set fire in one corner of a cloth and it caught the whole cloth. So he let it ablaze. So here in the purport, Prabhupada, this is from commentaries of other acharyas, that, see, at the stage of bhavas, some remnants were still there. Right? Now, Prabhupada is saying that according to Brahma Samhita, if you engage in devotional service, bhakti bhajam, the result of past deeds are indemnified. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Then how come he fell down? Because that small piece of his Kutam, Bijam Kutam, was still in him. Alright? And he didn't care to remove it by taking shelter of other sadhus. Because you're weak. Right? Everybody is weak. And you need others to pull you. That's why Bhakti Yoga is practiced in Sangha. Not alone. Of course, you have to choose your association. If you want to socialize, be in parties, like we just seen the whole thing here. What we can do in the name of being pious and being sadhus. What a graphic example of what it could be, right? So you have to very carefully choose your Sangha so that you can progress. For him, he neglected it. So Prabhupada is saying he purposefully fell down. What Prabhupada said? the conclusion is that Maharaj Bharat purposefully became over addicted to the deer and neglected his spiritual advancement. So another thing is accidental fall down. Somebody who is neophyte, right? Someone who is neophyte is little careless. Sometimes such a person may come into a situation that may cause his fall down. All right? Now here's somebody who is very advanced, very, very advanced, but he became negligent. Like we read, he was feigning to be chanting, doing his Gayatri, right? Actually, his mind was on the deer. So purposefully, Prabhupada said, so accidental fall down, you pick yourself up, you continue. Forgiven, continue. Here, purposefully, therefore he was punished. To immediately rectify his mistake, for a short time he was awarded the body of a deer. This was just to increase his desire for mature devotions. So, punishment also has some purpose. Punishment is not just that I hate you, I put you in hell. Right? Because the soul is eternal. Right? The soul is eternal. So he was just caught by the laws of nature. He was caught, placed in a body's deer so that he can taste what it means to be in a deer's body. Deer's body means you can't do anything. You're an animal. Who cares for you? Who will give you sangha? Right? Unless Bharat Maharaj. Right? See, he got a bad name now. Right? Forgive me. Right? So Prabhupada is saying here that that's why. So he quickly again was rectified, and he became a Brahmana in the next life. So he was king. All right, just see. He was king. He became an animal. Next life he became Brahmana. What does that mean?
His mistakes were accepted and he was elevated.
He was elevated. Right? From deer body, became a Brahmana. He didn't again become king. He didn't become king again. Right? He got a higher birth. So meaning that at the end of it all, he was rewarded. And how he was rewarded? Because in the deer body, he remembered his activities and he regretted his mistake, and therefore he was awarded the body of a Brahmana. And when he became a Brahmana, he is going to behave as if he is dumb. Right? Alright, you're satisfied now? So next week we're going to continue and see what happened. My God, it's so fascinating, right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Chakapatarubhascha kripasinmayuvacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha.